Today I'm going to be looking at a line that I think is just hilarious, and that line is the Troll Force. So, if you don't know what the Troll Force is, it is basically just a combination of the Masters of the Universe and trolls. Now, there were quite a few troll lines in the early 90s, but this might just be my favorite. It is absolutely ridiculous, and we're going to be getting into that in this video. So, when it comes to the Troll Force, there is actually a lot to talk about. The line consisted of 12 figures, I believe, and so many accessories, because pretty much every figure has their own unique accessories. So basically, with the Troll Force, if we look at the card back here, there were 6 different groups of 2 figures. As we can see here, there were the soldiers, the mighty heroes, the ninjas, the future fighters, the wrestlers, and the warriors. The soldiers, who I do not actually have, had Jungle Fighter and Desert Patrol. The mighty heroes had Green Yuck and Mighty Man. The 2 in the ninjas category were both just called Ninja Heroes for some reason. The warriors had Roman and Viking. The wrestlers had Big T, who looks a lot like Hulk Hogan, and Mohawk. And finally, the future fighters with Metal Man and Android Man. Now, there were a few differences between what was shown on the card back and what was actually on the figures and on the cards. As we can see here on the card back, it says Warriors for Roman and Viking, but on the actual card, it calls them Medieval Warriors. Before we start looking at the amazing figures in this line, I would like to point out a couple things about the accessories. So, as we can see here on Roman, he has this kind of sun design on his armor piece. That accessory is actually from a different Masters of the Universe knockoff line from 1983, the Galaxy Warriors. Here next to it is my Galaxy Warriors Raw. The belts and loincloths on these figures are also taken from the Galaxy Warriors. There's actually quite a bit that's taken from them, as this sword, you guessed it, it's also a Galaxy Warriors accessory. While the sticker on this shield is not from the Galaxy Warriors, the shield itself was a Galaxy Warriors accessory. This spotted circle shield that came with some Galaxy Warriors also came with Viking. Viking has also been seen coming with the Galaxy Warriors scythe and axe. The final Galaxy Warriors accessory I've seen in this line is the square armor piece, which is seen on Mighty Man. The coloring of the hair, eyes, and accessories in this line do vary a little bit. My Viking here has pink hair and whitish purple eyes, whereas on the card back he actually has orange hair and orange eyes. Most of these figures have 1 or 2 different versions they were released as. The Ninja Heroes are pretty interesting because they're the only 2 figures that actually have hoods covering up most of their hair. My black Ninja Hero has blonde hair, and my white Ninja Hero has pink hair. I've seen the black one also released with green hair, and the white one also released with blue hair. Something that I think is pretty cool with these 2 is that the hoods are actually cloth, and I think that's just pretty cool. My black Ninja Hero is complete with his nunchucks and his throwing weapon, and then my white Ninja Hero is actually incomplete. These 2 are the future fighters, and they do not like to hold their accessories. Android Man can kind of hold his accessory. It's very loose and falls out of his hand very easily, but I mean, hey, he's a very original idea for a figure. And I don't even try to make Metal Man hold his accessories anymore because they just do not fit. I mean, look at one of these. Look at how thick that handle is. It's not fitting. It's not going in. Android Man also has this very interesting piece of armor, which I actually think is a pretty cool accessory. I haven't seen it on any other figure. And now it's time to look at my favorite two in the line, Mighty Man and Green Yuck. Now, out of the two, Green Yuck is definitely my favorite. He is a Masters of the Universe troll Incredible Hulk, which I can't believe that is actually a sentence. But yeah, and his name is Green Yuck. I mean, what do you expect? Now, this is where the accessories coloring actually has variations, as Green Yuck's accessories are seen in gray, as well as yellow, and Mighty Man's accessories are also seen in red, and I think his armor is seen in yellow. His armor also sometimes is released with a sticker. One of my favorite parts about Mighty Man is his cape, but mine is actually ripped. He still displays nicely, and it is what it is. One thing I find interesting about Mighty Man is that his arms are actually shinier than all of the other figures I have. And it's just his arms, and I think his legs actually too, but not his torso. Green Yuck actually has my favorite variant out of all the figures. Now, I have the regular, more common Green Yuck variant, but there is another variant, and that variant is the red-eyed Green Yuck. He looks absolutely terrifying, and I think he's pretty cool. And he is definitely one that I need to add to my collection in the future. Unlike the Galaxy Warriors' banded legs, the Troll Force have ball joints. Very tight ball joints. And I am just realizing my Viking here has very squeaky legs. The Troll Force figures all have two markings on them. The first is on the back of their head, which says TNT 1992 China. The other is on the inside of their left leg, which just says China. The Troll Force packaging is pretty great. Here on the Medieval Warriors card, it shows tons of weapons flying around, including a Galaxy Warriors scythe and longsword. And I'm pretty sure all of the cards, or at least all of the different categories of figures, are unique. This is the only one I have, and right now I can't remember what the other ones look like, but I will probably put some pictures on screen for you. The card back is pretty straightforward. It shows all of the figures and their names. The ninjas/ninja heroes are a little weird and confusing, as well as the name changes between warriors to medieval warriors. But overall, I think it's a pretty great card back. There were two other releases of the Troll Force, those being the Troll Force 6-pack, which included one random figure from each category, as well as a Troll Force playset. One thing that I think is interesting about the 6-pack is that instead of saying ninjas for the ninja duo, it just says ninja heroes, which is in the category of their names instead of the category. It's weird. They don't do this on the card back, so I don't know what's up with that. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, which I will, in the editing process, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that the playset was called the Troll Fortress. Basically, the playset was meant to be for all sorts of troll figures, but the box showed Troll Force figures. Does that mean it is a Troll Force product? Maybe. Or maybe whatever company made it just found some Troll Force figures and used them as an example. The box says it fits all battling trolls and action figures, including battle trolls, stone protectors, troll warriors, and the Troll Force figures. The pricing on these guys is usually pretty cheap, around $10 each, but it will be a little bit more expensive to get them complete. Before I end this video off, I would like to ask you all to not only subscribe, but also check out my friend's channel. His name is KR Retro Figures on YouTube, and he does very similar videos to me on lots of other great knockoffs and bootlegs, as well as other vintage figures. So if you enjoyed this video, please go check him out. He's trying to grow his channel right now, and it hasn't yet reached the algorithm. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and that will be the end of this one.